Yay, biscuits. I want to do a tag video. So I did another tag video on my second channel, and I thought it would be really fun to bring back some tag videos because I miss these. Creators used to do tag videos all the time, and they're one of my favorite genres. Maybe that and like haul videos. I just find them so calm. I like to watch them with breakfast, but nobody does them anymore. So we're gonna bring them back. I'm doing a mama tag today. So I haven't pre-thought my answers for any of these, so I'm gonna read out the questions, and then I'm just gonna give you my honest raw opinion. Will it be horrifying? Will it be good? Who knows? Who my 3D effect? Oh yeah, high budget for effects. Worst advice on motherhood. I'm gonna say that I've ever gotten. Worst advice. Oh, I know what it was. Put your baby on formula if breastfeeding is difficult at all. I got that advice and I was like, no, it's terrible advice. You should prepare moms for how difficult it is to start breastfeeding and the learning curve for both you and baby so that you can bond through that and learn together how to have a good breastfeeding journey. Instead of telling women, oh, if it's any kind of work or if anything isn't flowing completely with it perfectly, then you should just stop. Because, yeah, that's terrible advice for anything in parenting. But I got that about breastfeeding. That was probably the worst advice I've gotten. Least amount of sleep I've ever gotten as a mom. I mean, definitely when my son was a tiny newborn and he didn't sleep. It was at least the first 3 months, 4 months. It was months in. He never slept more than 45 minutes, except for once. He slept for several hours once, and I was so nervous from it that I couldn't even sleep. I was like, I was manic. I was absolutely manic and deranged. Looking back on that, I wish that family would have said, like, we'll hold the baby and let you sleep, or like had said, hey, you need to like hire somebody to hold the baby so you get sleep, because I was just so sleep deprived for so long. And you know, if your baby sleeps for 45 minutes, you've got to get them to sleep, and then you've got to fall asleep, and then they wake you up, and it was absolutely, yeah, a person should not try to survive in that amount of sleep. It is just, it leads you to delirium. It really does. Like, you just start losing your mind. My differences between your kids. Boy, my kids are totally unique people. I have a 7-year-old son, and I have a 13-month-old daughter. And, you know, it's funny because, like, my son was totally himself from a really young age, and as is my daughter. They're different personalities. I would say my son is more of like a Gunther Babagoo, you know? He loves mud. I mean, so does my daughter, but just like, he's a Babagoo. That's the only way I can explain it, you know? He's like, he's fearless and he's strong and he's opinionated and powerful. And my daughter is opinionated and forceful and fearless and a rascal. Like, she just has this rascal quality that is innate. Like, it's just started so early. She's so clearly a rascal. Whereas I would say my son is just innately more like a fearsome warrior type, you know? And I'll be curious as they get older, of course, to see how that personality develops. But I would say that's the biggest difference, is like a little naughty rascal with a sense of humor and kind of a fierce wanting to squash and overpower things. And those are their personalities right now. But they're very different. And I don't know how much that has to do with being a boy, being a girl, and how much that's just their innate little personalities. My favorite maternity outfit. Oh, you know what? I actually bought this before I was pregnant with my daughter. I was doing a haul for this channel on maternity wear, and I kept this shirt even though I wasn't pregnant. And it's a blue star shirt, and it is like the least flattering shirt of all time. It makes you look 8 months pregnant, even if you haven't eaten in a week. But it's so soft and cozy. It's a bizarre cut. I don't understand the cut, but the fabric is gorgeous. I love it. Yes. It was from Motherhood Maternity, who I don't recommend because I kind of think that they overcharge for their products. I would love to be proven wrong and for you to say, oh, no, their quality has gone up, so they're worth it. But so far, I have not been impressed. The best post-meal you've had? So after I had my daughter, I think I had a snack bar that night because I had her in the evening. And then the following morning, my brother-in-law and sister got me, they asked me, like, what's the food that you really are craving? And they got me a chocolate croissant. And that was very tasty. But you know what? I think the single best meal I ever had, and it's not because it tasted good, but like that post-birth meal was a bean and cheese burrito. Yeah, California just has better burritos. Washington State just can't touch it. It's embarrassing. I keep hoping that somebody in Washington State can make a decent burrito. So far, no. You know, but with my daughter, actually, I was really obsessed in the postpartum period with these chocolate hazelnuts Trader Joe's pre-made cookies. Like, they were wonders. I'd be up at 2 a.m. with her, you know, because she was a newborn. She didn't have a sleep schedule yet. And they were just like the most succulent things of all time. And then I bought them again, I don't know, a month ago. And I went, oh, I mean, they're okay, but they're, I remembered them as like this nectar of the gods cookies. And I bit into it and I went, why are these good? So I think there's something about the postpartum period. Your taste buds are different. It's weird, but like mega meals, I don't know. Some food just tastes better postpartum. I don't understand why that is. I don't know if it's just sleep exhaustion or hormones or what. Which birth of your births was hardest? You know, I don't think either birth was harder than the other. They were just different. Like, my son was hard in the way that he was just like, he came so fast. It was such a quick labor that I was kind of in shock from that. And then my daughter was really confusing because she stalled. Like, I went into labor, my water broke, and then labor stalled for hours. And so I didn't know. I was like, what do I do? So like that was hard because I wasn't sure what was going on. And then I was worried, you know, my water's already broken, like what's going to happen? But I wouldn't say either of them was hard. Either labor. Intense, painful. My sister was my like doula at my birth, my older sister, and she said that at a certain point I just looked so tired. And so like, this is a bad idea. Why am I doing this? This hurts, you know? I was like, yes, that's what I was thinking. Because you can't lie. Like when you're in labor, when you're giving birth, your face can't lie. You're just like, oh, what's going on, you know? Yeah. So I wouldn't call either of them like hardest. They were just hard in different ways. They were different experiences. I felt more prepared for my daughter's birth because, you know, I'd already gone through the newborn phase. I'd already gone through labor. But like her pregnancy was a lot harder than my pregnancy with my son, which I do not have easy pregnancies at all. So it's hard for me to answer. I'm not sure. I don't know if I can answer that well. All natural or medicated births. Both of my births were unmedicated by my choice. Although my son came so fast that like I wouldn't have even had time to be medicated. Yeah, I don't understand why people fight over it. Like, do what you want. It's your body. It's a woman going through labor. They get to decide what do they want, what interventions do they want, what do they not want for interventions. I'm like, there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just up to the journey you want. I really don't go in for like the let's competitive motherhood, competitive birthing thing. And a lot of people get into that really intensely. I'm like, no, it's all birth. Like, just go about yourselves, calm yourselves down. Birth is hard enough without people sharing their opinions over what's best. So I just did unmedicated natural birthing. I actually had my son in a hospital, and then I had my daughter in a birthing center. And part of that was because it was during the pandemic, and part of that was that I had a bad experience in the hospital with my son. I mean, not with my son, but like with the doctors around there during that labor and the nurses, and I just didn't think they were nice. And it wasn't like a restful spiritual experience postpartum. So yeah, I think either one works. I just like to go unmedicated. I guess I kind of think of it as like my Viking going to battle kind of thing. When I go to labor, I'm like, I'm going to intensely experience this and go through it. And, you know, I in part, I don't want it to be medicated if I can avoid it because I worry about complications. But I get that's just my opinion. What do you... I didn't quite understand how this question was written out. Okay. What did you say you would never do, but that you do now as a parent? Swore I'd never co-sleep. Swore no cartoons for kids. No sugar. I was gonna make all the, like, so for my son, I made all his baby food. He hated it. I had to buy baby food because every time I made him baby food, he hated it. I made it all from scratch. And then my daughter, up like, she's a year, she's had ice cream. She's had whipped cream. Yeah. So many things. If I can learn anything from parenting, it's like, don't go into life with preconceptions, and you gotta go with the flow. There's no right or wrong answer. You're just trying to do the best you can. So many things. I said, oh, homeschool. I'm homeschooling my 7-year-old. And if you would ask me that in February of 2020, I would have said, oh no, I don't have time to homeschool. No. My special needs son is going to go to school and he's going to get all the services, and no, okay. I don't think so. And now I'm here. Now I'm homeschooling. I've been homeschooling 2 years. And I gotta say, I love homeschooling. My only challenge is that how I want to homeschool is different than how my son needs to be homeschooled. He does not do well sitting down, like writing things out. And so I struggle with like trying to make it fun for him. So we shall see if this fall I keep doing that. But yeah, maybe homeschool is the biggest. Co-sleeping and homeschool are probably the 2 biggest ones. I was like, no way. What are you smoking? You crazy. Yeah, no. Yeah, I think homeschool and co-sleeping are probably the 2 biggest. I said I win. And then just like in parenting, you just put your hands up in the air like, yeah, no, guess that's what we're doing now. Okay, biscuits. I will see you in the next video. Oh, I don't even know what's that supposed to be. I have no idea, biscuits. This mom is clearly deranged, but happy deranged. So you know what you gotta do. Okay, biscuits. I'll see you over on Instagram. Make sure you follow along on Instagram. I've been really having fun with all the reels, and I want to hear from you in the comment section. What reel should I post next? Should I do a topic on mama tag for reels? That might be fun. Okay, let me know. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that over on Instagram. I'll see you.